You have glutes of a goddess. How do we get those?
There's so many variables that I want to talk about.
We want to hear them all.
First, you have to have mind to muscle connection. No proper form. You need a lot of time under tension. You have to have good nutrition.
This is my favorite meal of the day.
And one thing that I've added is sprints. When you're sprinting, you get to stack fast twitch muscle fibers.
Hi, my name is Pernilla, and this is my Challenge Your Norm podcast. I'm absolutely obsessed with anything related to personal development. And well, to grow, we got to challenge our norm. And so on this podcast, we chat about life and how we can challenge our normal way of living it to make it greater than we could have ever imagined. Just one little belief, habit, bold move, and challenge at a time.
Brooke Hacket, you are an IFBB wellness pro, and you are one of the strongest females I have ever seen.
So sweet.
And you're so knowledgeable when it comes to building your booty, but also gut health and just your way of living life. So I'm excited to dive deep into your brain today, which, if you guys are listening, this is the second time that we're doing this. And I'm so grateful that you are willing to come around, because my camera decided to shut off at the end of our last incredible episode.
I know how that is, so I get it. Yeah.
Thank you. And this time you brought a post-workout snack because you came straight from your workout. So we're going to insert that later in today's episode for anyone who wants to know what the perfect post-workout meal is, because it looked fire.
It's so good. I mean,
do you feel satisfied right now after having?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's got everything a girl could want. It's got a banana. It's got yeah, when you're in prep for so long, you miss weird little things, like I didn't have a banana for like a year. Like who doesn't have a banana for a year?
Wow.
So I really cherish my bananas now.
Maybe that's where we should start.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because right now you are enjoying your life, building muscle, and eating.
Eating. Yes.
But in your prep, for anyone who hasn't watched my YouTube video where I went in a bikini prep week.
For a week.
For a week, I used your protocol that your coach at the time had given you. And I lost, I believe it was like 7 pounds in that 1 week.
And you're like, Brooke, what? Why are you doing that?
How can you do this? Because I did it for 1 week and you did it for how many months?
Oh my gosh. I was in prep on and off all year last year. My first show was in March. So you have to like prep for about 3 months for each one. So I did a show in March, and then I did a show in August, September, and then November. I competed 4 times last year.
That's so wild. And it makes sense that last time when we spoke, which was a couple of months ago, we're now in the end of January, but we spoke probably at the end of November.
Probably something like that.
And at that time when I asked you if you were going to keep doing this, you were like, I don't know if I want to.
I was probably like, no. But yeah, because then you're fine. And then you're like, I can do that again. You get a little delulu.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you're fresh, you're like, no. The thought of that, like getting back into that mindset, it's such a mental shift that you have to endure.
Talk about that mindset, because many listeners maybe they don't want to get stage lean like you, but they want to get in better shape, maybe lose some pounds.
Yeah.
And it's so hard for them to stop snacking at night or make the right nutritional choices. What is that mindset shift that you do, and how do you do it?
Activity that I do with my clients, I do a few, but 2 come to mind. Number 1, establish your why. Why are you doing this? And my why has changed so many times, and you can always add in more whys. It doesn't need to be just one thing. So first, establish your why so that when you are in that moment where you're like, maybe I'll just snack more or whatever, you go back to that why and you're reminded, no, I'm going to build discipline and stay disciplined because of this. And then another thing.
So in that moment when you're like, ooh, I want that cookie. then that's when you're like, oh, my why, I'm doing this because of this. And then that reason why is what will help you not make the wrong decision.
Sometimes, but oftentimes I don't. Have you ever binged like a bit like so?
Absolutely.
You kind of black out, and you give yourself permission, and you're like, "F it," and you think of some sort of excuse, and then you could just like roll with it, and then you black out, and then after the binge, you're like, "Well, I just did that." So it is, I think, unrealistic, especially for a beginner, to expect them to just kind of tap into that why and be like, nope, can't do that, because it doesn't, alleviate all of the psychology behind why you binge in the first place, or why you maybe have gained 50 pounds, let's say, I think the first step that I would have somebody do if they want to be really strict and really disciplined, because there's numerous ways to lose weight. You don't have to do like a bodybuilding prep and be so disciplined. But if you're like, I've had enough of my own crap and I need to figure this out, you need to take everything out of the fridge that tempts you. You can't have it around, because then you do have to make the conscious decision of, oh, now I have to actually go to the grocery store, buy it, or the fast food restaurant or whatever, buy it. That's a lot of effort.
That's actually what I do. I don't have it in my house, but then if I one day want something, then I will need to want it bad enough to go and buy it. And then I'll be happy that I did, because then it was like, okay, I really wanted this.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah, it was worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And another activity that I do is establishing non-negotiables. I do 10 of them, and they could be random, 10 things that you do every day or week. And one of my non-negotiables is obviously like, can't cheat on your diet. So it is a non-negotiable. Yeah. And it's fun to be competitive with yourself and say like, I wonder what's going to happen if I don't give up. I wonder if I just stay disciplined today, I'm going to like alleviate the pressure of tomorrow. But today, if I just stay disciplined, what's going to happen? Am I going to wake up leaner? And then like when you're in prep, you do have daily changes, or just like when you're being very strict. So that's a little,
I love that. What's going to happen if
it's my little mantra. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. Because it's it's like, it makes it playful.
Yes. Yeah. You stay curious.
Yeah. Talking about discipline.
Yeah. Yep. Discipline.
You have glutes of a goddess.
Thank you.
How do we get those?
Oh man, I do. I work on my glutes a lot. I think it's important to, there's so many variables that I want to talk about. I think
we want to hear them all.
Okay. First, you have to have mind to muscle connection. You have to know proper form. And going back to mind to muscle connection, if you are, let's say, doing a hip thrust and you're not feeling it in your glutes, you're not working your glutes. Like you have to, your pump tells a story. If your muscle is not pumped to where you are working, you're likely not getting a lot of blood flow, time under tension, and all of that good stuff that you need to actually build muscle. You need a lot of time under tension. My glutes like a lot of volume, so I think most women work well under high volume. So you can look at that as like reps and sets per workout or per week, and just kind of depends on. I was a college athlete, so my I guess endurance is probably a little bit more advanced than somebody else's. So, number one is you have to have mind to muscle connection. Number two, more than likely, you are going to be in a posterior pelvic tilt if you're trying to isolate your glutes, because your glutes are when you're in full hip extension, your glutes are most likely fully activated. So that just goes kind of back to form. You have to have good form, and then you have to have good nutrition. And one thing that I've added to my split lately, like in the past 8 weeks, is sprints.
Sprints, me too. But I didn't know that was good for I mean, I kind of knew, but I didn't know it was good for the glutes to the degree that you would mention it. Like,
yes.
Well,
yeah. I switched my cardio because when you're in a caloric surplus, you're not running the risk of losing muscle when you're in your anaerobic threshold. So like when you're sprinting, you get to stack fast twitch muscle fibers. And especially if you were an athlete, like you danced forever. So, if you're an athlete and you used to often be in your anaerobic threshold and your fast twitch muscle fibers have been a little bit dormant or something, and you get back into that, the body is so amazing. It's just, my body's just like responding because I ran track and I played soccer in college. So I used to sprint all the time. So now my glutes are like, we're back, baby.
That's amazing. I did not know that. I do it because I really don't like sprinting.
But I love that.
It makes me feel so uncomfortable that afterwards I'm just like, yes.
I love that.
You know how if you do something challenging, it compound effects in all areas of your life. When I sprint, that's what happens.
I am such a firm believer in doing stuff that you don't like to do until you like it.
Yeah, like I would take a 10-minute cold ice plunge for and that would almost be better than a sprint.
Sprints suck. No, I hate sprinting too. Just because I played soccer, I did not like. I don't like running. Period.
But it's so, and I feel it in my breath. I feel it
I feel like
so good for you.
I just feel like bad.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah.
Me too.
And going fast as you can.
Absolutely.
I'm almost 30, so
me too.
And look at us sprinting. I don't want to lose that.
No.
And that could be lost pretty soon.
But you are in charge of that, right? And it's about doing that uncomfortable thing.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. And think about a long distance runner's body versus a sprinter's body.
Yeah.
Very different.
Very true.
Sprinters, when you stack those fast twitch muscle fibers, they build your muscles.
You just gave me another reason why I need to keep doing these sprints.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I'm here for that.
That's amazing. One quick thing I want to go back to, because you mentioned the amount of reps and sets. If you had to share what you do as an advanced, but we could also talk about the beginner, how much each would need volume-wise to actually see. Of course, it's going to be different. There's a big difference between a beginner and advanced. There's a far in between as well, but just to get a general idea.
It's kind of hard to I'll just walk you through like how I compile my split. So your glutes they have the potential to be the strongest muscle in your body. They're very strong, very explosive, and they could use a lot of load, you know? So even if you're not isolating your glutes in let's say a hip thrust, because I'm a firm believer in keeping hip thrusts an isolated movement, not a compound movement. But your glutes, when you're lifting heavy loads, are going to explode from a squat, let's say. So maybe I'm not even trying to isolate my glutes. I'm hitting a compound squat. So on Mondays, I hit all of my compound movements where I'm doing heavy hack squat, I'm doing deadlifts, I'm doing movements that work all of my body, honestly, because your core and your upper body is very involved in your lower body movements too. So that's you're getting time under tension through load. And then we go into Wednesday's workout where I am isolating my quads. So usually I hit glutes 3 times a week, but right now I'm hitting them twice a week.
Okay.
So I'm getting a little confused, but I would say for a beginner, you can isolate your glutes more.
Okay.
And then you don't have to focus on really heavy lifting because you probably don't have good mind to muscle connection if you're lifting heavy, if you're a beginner. And then I would say, this is going to sound crazy, 10 movements.
I love that.
You have so many muscles in your lower body that
I love that. I tend to do that, and I tend to give that as well to when I have my challenges. Yeah.
Heavy movements, isolation movements. You got to hit your gluteus maximus. You got to hit your gluteus medius.
I love that you just said that because I have this. That's what I felt.
Intuitive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to hit 2 isolations for my gluteus medius, my upper butt. I want to hit at least 3 or 4 movements for my gluteus maximus, and then you want to think about your glute ham tie if you're a wellness competitor or a bikini competitor. So that's going to involve some hamstrings. And then you also have to think about in the height of tension. So let's say hip thrust again. The height of tension is the shortened position. Your glutes are your muscles contracted in the shortened position. So you want to also have movements where your muscles are contracted in the lengthened position. So you have your squats, you have your RDLs, stuff like that. So you want to think about that too in your programming. Is I don't want to only have really high contracted glutes in the shortened position. I also want the lengthened position.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So many variables.
So many. It's like,
but it's good. People can get programs from someone like you too.
Yeah.
To make it easier on themselves so that they don't have to come up with it.
Yeah. Don't think I don't want to think about it.
Yeah.
Well, I like to think about it, but a lot of people don't want to think about it, just want to execute.
Yeah.
And I like when my clients feel like that because I'm like, dude, you're stressing yourself out.
Yeah.
Just
let's
execute.
Go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah. Glutes leads us to nutrition.
Ooh, yeah.
Because that's very important to grow, build muscle. And I would love to just hear your thoughts on the muscle development when it comes to nutrition, but then lead into your gut health journey. A lot of people are dealing with gut issues.
Yeah. Your gut is your second brain.
Yes.
So
it is.
You got to get that together because especially if you're somebody that might be dealing with a lot of anxiety or depression, take a look at your gut health. It's you wouldn't really think about that, but
it has everything to do with, because I'm such a positive person. If I'm not, it's because I haven't been able to use
yeah.
It's like because I haven't been able to use the bathroom and I can feel that there's something wrong. Yes, maybe sometimes it's like period stuff, but like
PMS.
Yeah.
Luteal phase.
Yeah. But like nothing okay. Yeah, that can be one thing. But just in general in my life, it's like my gut issues that have had me deal with the most mental.
It's a direct correlation.
Yeah.
You need things to be flowing.
Yeah.
Gut health is really important to me. It kind of started off because I had really bad acne. And now I'm left with acne scars, which I'm getting laser treatments now. Whoa, they work. My skin is getting better. But I don't know, have you ever had like a laser treatment?
No.
Oh my gosh, you look so scary the day after. You're like so swollen and it's almost unrecognizable. But it's worth it. I'm on session 2 of 5, so
okay.
I'll have really great skin in like 3 months.
That's amazing.
I'm so excited.
Before your next competition.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, so I didn't realize that the state of your gut health could cause acne. And when I first started in the fitness industry, which was almost 8 years ago, I would eat things that I thought were healthy, like the protein bars and the protein cookies or whatever. And I never looked into the ingredients. And then the more that I learned, I learned that there are certain ingredients that you should just stay far away from. Then I did a deep dive on gut health and just realized how important it is. So now I only do holistic nutrition, and I need to make sure that I don't know. I kind of talk about it to everyone. Like my husband now, he's like, what are the ingredients in that? Like he's a holistic nutrition queen too. Like it's just important. But when you're...
So what are some of the things that we should stay away from?
Dyes, which I actually read that red dye, I think in specific, is getting banned here in the US. So that's good.
That is
so bad.
So
Cancerous.
there's so many ingredients that are allowed in the States that are not allowed in Europe.
It's stupid.
And you know how in America it's like so many supplements, you got to take this and that and that. I'll sometimes, I've been through different phases of taking different things. I go to Europe, no supplements.
Yeah.
My body feels freaking amazing.
Yeah, it's just food.
It's just raw, real food.
Yeah, and that's what we want to eat here, but you can't because everything is processed, has hydrogenated seed oils is another one. Like anything that has sunflower oil or palm oil, it's just any hydrogenated seed oils you want to stay away from. So if like you're eating fast food and stuff, all of that is cooked in hydrogenated seed oils because it's cheaper. Also, a lot of places you might just go to dinner at, I always am left feeling bloated because like they use bad oil. I can tell.
Yeah.
So
you've gotten so in tune with your body now that you can feel it right away.
Yeah. I was telling you earlier, if I drink a Celsius, I wake up with a pimple.
Yeah. So
dyes, hydrogenated seed oils, natural flavor. So natural flavor is any company could just put natural flavor on their label and FDA approves that. But that is a blanket word that can mean essentially anything. It's scary. So you don't want natural flavors in your stuff because you just don't know what that even means. Same with citric acid. That oftentimes, like if it's something that is like an orange flavor or whatever, it might have citric acid, but same like blanket term is that citric acid. I'm kind of drawing a blank on the other two. Oh, gums. You want to stay away from gums.
Like sanctum gum?
Yeah, however you say it. I don't know. I say xanthan.
I don't know how to say it either.
Guar gums.
Yeah, guar gums. Yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed back in the day when I would make my ice cream and I would eat a lot of that, I definitely like my belly would be out here.
Yeah, it makes you
by
bloated.
The way, my bloating has never been as good as it. I mean, it's just never been as good as it is right now.
Like you're not bloated.
I'm not like I feel so good in my body right now, which is amazing. Just the awareness of it.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely not as clean as you are. Like I'll still have some of those things, but a lot less than I used to.
What's good is like when you repair your gut lining, you can handle stuff in
that's
moderation.
What it feels like. Because before everything would just pop it.
Yeah, and like right away.
Yeah, and now it's I'm so good.
Yeah, because you probably have a healthy gut.
I did the AIP diet. I think I told you. Yeah, and that I think just made it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also eat less fruit. Fruit for me, it makes me bloated.
See, everyone's different.
Yeah.
That's why I did a food sensitivity test.
Yeah. Where you realized that you were allergic to almond butter and what else?
Which is so sad. I was only sensitive to things. I had nothing in the red. It was only, they have green, which is you're good. Yellow, moderation. Red, stay away from. Nothing in the red, which she said was, she's never seen that before. And I was like,
it's probably because
cool.
you are so healthy.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But also I did it in the height of prep. So my gut microbiome, I don't think was very diversified because I was eating the same foods like all freaking year.
Yeah. But is that something you would recommend people who are dealing with gut issues to get a sensitivity test just to have an idea of what it possibly could be caused by?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. My thing said that I'm highly sensitive to aspartame, which is another thing that you should stay away from is these like artificial sweeteners, like sucralose. So, cause you don't want to get too like far into it, but I mean, it spikes your insulin and it's like, you're not even having any nutrients when it's spiking it. So I would stay away from sucralose at all costs.
Many people are like, damn, there's so many things from my diet I have to get rid of. But it's like
a lot of stuff.
I think sometimes it's better to hear it now than it to get so bad that just awareness. I feel like the awareness can always help us make just more cautious choices.
Totally. And there's good stuff out there that is like such a simple swap. To be honest though, holistic nutrition, whole foods. It's not cheap, choosing organic. Not everyone can swing it, but you can try your best to be just ingredient based and not, doing TV dinners and stuff.
Yeah.
So
moving on with the nutrition when it comes to glute building or just muscle development.
Yes.
What are the things to be aware of there?
So, with nutrition in general, you always want to have balanced meals. You want to think about your macros. You want to know that, I need X amount of carbs, X amount of protein, X amount of fat. You should probably have some fiber in there too. So,
do you have a percentage you give people, like this much percentage protein, this much carb, this much fat?
It depends on the person.
Yeah.
But for women, for the most part, I do 30% fat, like 35% protein, 35% carb. Just depends though, because if somebody's, let's say, like a little bit insulin resistant, then I might have them more so on a keto diet and less carbs. But that's why blood work is so cool and important. Like, go get your A1C checked and like get your hormones checked and stuff like that. Because nutrition is so powerful and it's so healing. I also, when I did the food sensitivity test, I did just a whole workup. I did a Dutch test, which is a hormone panel. I did more blood tests that told me about my health, the state of my health at that time. And I knew it was going to be bad because I prepped all year long. So I was in a deficit all year long, malnourished, and my cortisol was so high. I think the normal range is anywhere from 80 to 200, and mine was 375. And then my testosterone was really, really low. My estrogen was really, really low, and my progesterone was really, really low. So the ladies, they're like, it's okay. We can heal everything through. I came up like premenopausal. Like, that's
wow.
Yeah. And she's like, don't let that scare you, because we can reverse that really quickly.
Thank God that she said that, because other people could have seen that
about
and been
freaked
like,
out.
sorry, you're doomed. Like, if you'd come to the wrong person.
Totally.
Yeah.
Shout out Holistic Renewal. They're the best.
Amazing.
Use code Brooke.
I will.
No, really. I think everyone should.
I just had my stuff checked too. So
It's empowering.
Yeah.
It's a little overwhelming, but it's empowering because it also gives you information on like, oh, I'm validated. Like, that's why I felt like I made sure I was on speakerphone with my husband, because sometimes I'm a little snippy in prep, and I'm like, see, I'm not just snippy. Like, there's a reason.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of went on a tangent, but it's really important. And then I did my blood work again, and we did supplement a few things, especially for the cortisol, and progesterone, and then a gut health supplement just through nutrition. All of my numbers are perfect now, and it's been like 2 months maybe.
Oh, that's so good to know. Also, that if they do show up not the greatest, that you really can
Don't worry.
Make changes and
nutrition. It's through nutrition.
Yeah.
Because
nutrition really affects everything. Yeah. It's kind of the same as almost sleep. Like, sleep may be the most important, but it has similar effects. I feel like.
I agree.
Yeah.
Especially as a woman. And you can even dive into the conversation of cycle syncing and like cycle syncing your nutrition. And there's certain things that you can be eating throughout your cycle that will help your cycle and like help you feel a little less crazy in the luteal phase or like whatever. So I think it's just like, I don't know enough about cycle syncing to like really dive in and talk about it, but it's really freaking cool. Like nutrition is really cool.
It is.
And it's empowering, like it doesn't have to be this, we can go back to looking at things as like being curious about it, is you can make it more fun. It doesn't have to be like, you don't have to be a victim of food.
Yeah.
It could just be like fun to figure it out and like, oh, that makes me feel really good. Like my post-workout meal.
Which leads us into that.
Yeah.
First, before we do that, I want to ask you, how much grams of protein do you eat in a day?
So on the test, it told me that my body doesn't assimilate protein very well.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So my body likes carbs and fats more.
Wow.
And so I kind of switched my percentages a little. So I'm not eating that much protein.
What was it before and what is it now?
Well, when I was with one of my first coaches, he had me eating something like 250 grams of protein.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. And that's especially a lot when you don't have any fat. And that's why I felt like a crazy person.
Yeah.
Your fats, the macro of fat is like, that's how you regulate your hormones.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Right now I'm eating about 140 grams of protein.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Let's take a look at your delicious post-workout meal.
The best meal of the day. Yeah.
This is my favorite meal of the day, actually. It's cream of rice, which I make my own cream of rice. Did you know that you just blend up rice and it makes cream of rice? I got 50 grams here of cream of rice, and then I do cinnamon, and then I'll do some water. Yes, so you cook for a minute, and then you gotta stir it up, and then you cook for one more minute. So microwave it goes. Now we wait.
And what else do you have here?
Okay, so I have one date. This is my protein powder, nanner, cacao nibs, because I'm like a texture girl. I love the crunch. And then cashews. I'm obsessed with cashews right now. This is my favorite form of fat. They're so good. Okay, you mix it, and it's definitely not done yet, but it does need a good mix. So then after the mix, we'll put it back in the microwave for a minute, and then it'll be done. And then we get to put the good toppings.
Yeah. If you're not watching this on Spotify or YouTube, you have to go to the video.
Yes.
section.
Yeah.
It's gonna be worth it.
Okay, see? She got all fluffed up.
Oh, yum!
Yes.
That's just blended rice?
Dude, blended rice, it makes cream of rice. This one person, I posted cream of rice and I was making it out of it comes in usually an orange box, the cream of rice. And I put that on my TikTok, and some lady commented, and she's like, hey, do you know that it's so much cheaper just to blend the rice? Because the box of rice is so expensive for no reason, because you just blend it. Now all the good stuff happens. I already measured out my protein powder, so I'll do that. So Pro Mix is 2 scoops is 1 serving, which is about 36 grams of protein powder. And then I'll add some more water, but not too much, because watery cream of rice is gross. Then you gotta get this all emulsified. Okay, I'm gonna cut up my one date, which I love dates, with my teeth. Okay, these are cacao nibs. I don't measure my cacao nibs. Okay. It should be like 10 grams, and I use less than that.
Okay.
So I don't care about that. And then we do measure the cashews, because when you deal with fats, that gets hairy real quick, like a little bit. So 30 grams of cashews is 170 calories, which is crazy. And I do 15 grams, so I do half. I just do this whole nanner, and then it's done.
What are the macros for this entire meal?
I would have to check again.
Okay, but it looks delicious. Maybe let's just get like
A moment. She needs her moment.
Wow, it actually looks phenomenal.
Yay.
We're just looking at my vision board right now, my older vision board, and I have Lorelai's abs, or like body. It's not really, it's just like the fact that she both has abs and she also has a booty, like you.
Oh my gosh. Lorelai's, Miss Olympia bikini. I mean, she is, goals.
So just goals. But she also literally is Miss Olympia.
She is Miss Olympia bikini.
Which you potentially would like to.
I would love to go to the Olympia.
And you could have a shot. And doing that as a natural is wild.
Through God, like anything can happen. But I don't know if I'd say I have a shot at winning Miss Olympia. Who knows, like, what the judges want with the category or whatever. These girls are massive. They are massive. And not even in a way where they look like too muscular or whatever. They look massive for the wellness division. And the wellness division is, so Lauralee, she's bikini. She's a muscular density wise a level below wellness, and then if you want to build the density in your glutes and your legs, then you would go up to wellness. And so wellness, these girls are just beautiful. They are stacked. And I'm going to do my best.
Yeah.
I have to qualify first.
Yeah, which maybe potentially this year is going to be the goal.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, so I want to have babies soon, in like 2 years, God willing. And I recognize that I need to, or I want to give it one more shot, because I did my pro rookie season, and now I want to move a little bit differently this season, and kind of just do it a little different. And I'm definitely not competing 4 times. I'll spread out to where I'm in prep for a whole entire year. But yeah, I want to try to get to Olympia this year.
So exciting.
It is exciting. It's in October, so I have some time.
And when do you think your first competition is going to be?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. Last year, I got second in, so 1 spot away from getting the Olympia qualification.
Wow.
It was cool. It was really cool.
So it really could happen this year. If you were 1 away last year, then...
That was a core memory for sure, because that was a stacked show. And it's so funny because this woman, she's amazing. She's been to Olympia every year since they've had Wellness Olympia, I think. Her name is Jacqueline, and she got first. She beat me in that show. And before we had competed, I've only ever seen her on Instagram, and she is one of these girls that is just stacked. Like, I'm stacked. And so before I got there, I knew that she was going to be in the show. And the first round of for bodybuilding is alphabetical. So by your last name, you get called out, and then the judges look at you, and then you do your individual routine, and then they do first call outs or whatever. So I knew that I was going to stand next to Jacqueline in the alphabetical round. And, you know, this show had like 36 women or something like that. So I was hoping for top 10. I was like, I would be so honored if I was top 10 in this show, because like there are multiple Olympians in this show, and like so cool. So I thought the only time I would be able to stand next to Jacqueline was during that first round. And I actually, like, we sized up. Like I didn't look too far off. She beat me on conditioning for sure. So then I got first call outs, and then I end up doing, I forgot what they're called, but it's just you that you're fighting for first or second. And we got called out for that. And it was just so freaking cool. But yeah, 1 spot away from going to Olympia. So I think I'm going to go back to that show this year. We'll see though. That's going to be September 7th, but I don't know.
Exciting though.
Yeah.
Very How many months before a show do you start cutting?
It depends on like where you're at. I plan to build very lean this year. Like I made the mistake of doing a muscle growth phase and getting too fat. And that makes your prep really hard. And you also run the risk of losing a lot of muscle if you have to lose a lot of fat in a short amount of time and you don't do it like correctly, which I did not. And I did lose a lot of muscle that time. Mm-hmm. So
do you know what your body fat percentage was when you were like before and then after?
No, like peak bulk.
Yeah.
No, I should do it this year though.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
To see how much change.
Yeah. I think if I were to guess, I got big. Like, cause that coach at the time, he was shooting for a number. Like he really wanted me to get up to 165 pounds, and I'm 5'2". So at one point he was having me eat 4,000 calories a day, just trying to get to this 165 number. And it just made no sense, because at that point I was just gaining fat.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I'm capped out. Like,
yeah,
I'm so uncomfortable. I could barely like twist when I'm posing.
Yeah.
So I was probably like, I'm going to say like 26, 27% body fat. And then I got down to like 8% body fat.
8%. Wow.
Yeah. It's not cute.
That's
to
wild.
be that lean.
That's wild.
Yeah. It's cool though.
Yeah. It's a crazy transformation.
Yeah. The beauty of bodybuilding. So cool.
It is. It's so cool what you do with your body. it's wild.
Yeah.
And the determination and the strength. And I remember when I was doing that 1 week, we were chatting, and you were just like the mindset behind it, the commitment.
Yeah.
Like, I have not eaten for 1.5 months, and I'm here doing cardio every day and training my ass off. Yeah. But I just have the goal in mind. I'm committed, and I'm doing this thing. And it's like...
Yeah. Going back to like your why and whatnot, one of my whys is I never fully committed myself when I was a college athlete. I was really distracted. I was really like into drinking, partying, boys, like very distracted. And I didn't represent myself well, but I didn't ever see my full potential ever. And so when I initially started bodybuilding, I would think about that girl all the time that just did not live up to her potential, because I did have a lot of potential. And I was very just naturally gifted as an athlete. And I was just distracted. And so I wonder what will happen if I don't give up. I wonder what's going to happen if I just actually go all out. Do it. Go all out. Don't do stuff halfway. You're doing it already, so actually just do it.
That's so powerful. And it's almost like it's just the 10% extra that makes the whole difference. It's the 10% of, are you going to cave in and have those cookies at night, or are you not? You've already been good the whole day. Are you gonna just give that 10% extra in your workout, which is actually going to be the 10% that are going to make your muscle develop and not just like maintain?
Yeah.
It's the little, like, giving your 100%. And I can really relate to what you're saying of like your younger years of feeling like you didn't give your all. I can really relate to that. And I feel like that for me is a big why as well. When I have goals, it's like, no more. Like just being okay with being
mediocre.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mediocre.
It haunts me. I don't like that.
Yeah. I can be
any
mediocre
aspect.
in certain areas where I'm fine with where I don't have goals, but where I have goals, like, do it all out.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe we were supposed to feel those rock bottom lows, because rock bottom is a very solid foundation. And boy, have I hit her. Like, I've hit rock bottom so many times, and it just adds to your why.
It does.
Every
big growth transformation has happened after hit rock bottom.
Absolutely. Yeah. I love rock bottom. For when you're an athlete, you get to really fight, and think about that girl that was down bad. Yeah. Or things that happened to you, or people that did you wrong, or like whatever. When I'm in the gym, I'm fighting wars. Yeah. Like, there's nice things about your why, like for your parents or your Nana, or like, one of my fun whys is I just really want my husband to think I'm cool. And like,
I love that.
Like,
I know he does.
He does.
Yeah.
He does. He's the best. But like, that's a fun why. But no, like this going to war type of why, or those people that knew you when you were in rock bottom, they would talk crap about you, and like they loved to see you down there. You think about those people and you're like, look, what do you think now? Like you were a hater back then, and you pushed me down when I was down, Yeah. So I love thinking about those people and the person I was back then. Yeah. So it's good.
It's powerful. The pain can lead to some... It's one of those things of, you have to get so low, so down bad, that you're willing to do everything else that's crazy uncomfortable. Because if you're comfortable, you're not willing to get uncomfortable because you don't have any reason to. But if you're thinking of all of that pain, then the other pain is just like, I can do that. Yeah.
And that makes me also think about how beautiful unconditional love is. And if some people don't ever get to feel unconditional love, but that's a really cool place to be also. If you fail, or if you go out swinging and you try your hardest, and well, I'm unconditionally loved by God or by my parents or, you know, my husband or whatever. Like, at the end of the day, I'm still going to be loved. And so that's
so powerful.
it's really powerful.
Yeah.
Because it kind of like, you know, I like to try to give that to my girls too that I coach. I'm here. I'm here and like, I love you. Doesn't matter if you mess up. Doesn't matter if you fail. Like, we got it. Like, you have that kind of cushion of, it kind of makes you a little bit fearless, you know?
Yeah. For the people who don't have that, I know that you have a beautiful relationship with God.
Yeah.
What does that look like for you? How does that help you?
God.
Yeah.
So I got baptized only about a year ago, and I've just been like diving in, and I did not grow up with God. I knew about him, was knocking on the door. I was curious, but I didn't have the guts to go for it because I didn't think I was worthy, because I had messed up so many times. I wasn't, now I'm proud of the girl that I was, but I was like, when I was her, I wasn't proud of her. And I was like, you know, and then my husband made me realize, no, you're worthy and you're a new creation in God, because he says so every day. Like, just be with him and be led by him. And that was so freeing for me, because I kind of felt like I was just succumbing to what other people said I would be, or the, you know, what I've done in my life. I was just labeled and branded as her. But when I realized that I could actually be labeled and branded as God's child, it made me feel so free and protected. And now when I think about my life when I didn't have God, I was like so exposed, you know. That's kind of scary. It's kind of scary to make me feel, oh my gosh, I didn't have God. In reality, he was always with me, you know, but I didn't see that. And so now it's like my strength and my protection and my peace. And I learned more and more about him, and I just love learning about God. I don't know everything, but I'm just like, I feel very called to certain things, and I love praying and just like being with him. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Thanks. It's changed my life for sure.
And maybe someone listening right now has had an urge to dive into their relationship with God, and maybe this could be the chance for them to actually do that.
For sure.
Their sign to
Yeah.
to do
Yeah,
that.
especially if like you feel like you're not worthy.
Yeah.
You're always worthy in God's eyes.
Yeah.
You know, you're a new creation, you know.
That's beautiful. And I know you help a lot of women, both with feeling safe, like you just shared, but also getting in great shape and having good relationship to food and just their bodies and life. If anyone wants to get connected with you, where do they find you?
Yes. So BrookeHazardCoaching.com is my website. And then on Instagram, I'm Brooke Hacket, because I got married. Brooke Hacket _Fitspo. Same as TikTok, I think. But yeah, I have created a team Fearless to Flourish, because like we talked about, if you're fearless inside of rock bottom, or inside of those crazy ideas you have, like if you just kind of go for it and you're fearless in that, you're not afraid to fail, you can flourish. And you do flourish, even when you do fail, because you will. You know, you're going to come up short many, many, many times before you actually get to your goal. Unless you're my husband, because he's crazy. I'm just going to brag about him, because he's undefeated. And he did 2 shows. Both of us got our pro cards on 2 shows, but he got the overall champion award in both of them. including at NPC Nationals, which is one of the biggest national shows. He's crazy.
Incredible.
Yeah.
You guys are just a power couple.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm glad you found each other. And
God brought us together.
yeah.
Seriously. And that we were looking at each other the other day and we're like, dude, there's no one else that's more perfect for me or more perfect for you. We're just like this. And we're so opposite in very specific things that he keeps me really grounded and I expand his ambition and, you know, because I'm kind of like, whoa, and he's like grounded. So
good.
It's good.
It's needed. Both
It's so
sides are
needed. It's so needed.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a tangent. Sorry.
No, great tangent. I love it. I love you guys together. It's
Thank you.
Just good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, you've met him.
Yeah.
He's
a good guy.
Dude, that's something that that made me fall in love with him is you feel God when you're with him. You do, right?
Yeah.
He's very genuine. He's very grounded and he's very integral. He's just like a man of God and he grew up with God and he went to a Christian college and he recites scripture. He'll pray over people, random people that he doesn't know. He'll just be like, can I pray over you? He's telling me about this woman at the gym the other day he saw was crying and he was like, excuse me. He doesn't know her, but he's like, can I pray over you? Are you okay? And I'm just like, that's my man.
Wow.
He's
That's
the best.
so beautiful. Yeah. You really just get goodness.
He's
out
good
of
vibes.
him. Yeah.
Yeah. Unless he's like mid-set. He's kind of scary.
I feel like I've always just gotten like good energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just the best.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I coach women online and I just brought on an assistant coach. And so I'm mentoring her and we're just vibing, you know, empowering women through food and fitness is what we say is like, you know, I think that kind of anyone could give you a solid, you know, nutrition plan and fitness and stuff. But what I do is just like we were talking about having that one person that really believes in you and pours in that love and hey, no matter what, you can fail a million times or mess up on your diet plan or whatever. I'm never going to yell at you. I'm going to help you create standards and understand how to build discipline. But you're not ever going to do that if you're always beating yourself up or stemming from this very negative, self-hating, you know, mindset. So building that, and that's another thing, is watching women flourish into a woman that is so confident in herself because she has built discipline and she does the things that she says she's going to do. And just sometimes it's like, how do you navigate that and how do you become that woman, you know? And it's like, you got to meet yourself where you are and like stick to I'm going to give you this plan. You stick to that plan. And every day that you do, you're going to build that discipline and that confidence.
Yeah.
It's so, I know you coach too. It's
so, it gives me shivers. It makes me feel fulfilled. It lights up my soul when you see someone in that transformation.
And you're like there every step of the way.
Yeah.
And you remember, as a coach, you remember the way that they used to talk about themselves, or they used to come to you like, I'm a POS, like I'm so fat and this and that. And, you know, hey, I hear you. Like, facts. I used to talk to myself like that too, but I'm going to need you to stop. And if your best friend talked to you the way that you're talking to yourself right now, would you guys be friends?
Yeah.
You wouldn't. So creating that mindset and that confidence is just empowering.
Everything. It changes everything. It really does. Because you'll show up for your life and for people and for everything you do in a different way.
Yeah. And the discipline you make and create in the gym or with your food and stuff, like you said, it trickles into the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Like go create the life of your dreams because like you can.
Yeah. It's wild.
You
Make
really
a vision board too. Because it comes true.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I love
Baby
it.
steps.
Baby steps, looking at the next step, not the whole staircase.
Yes.
Keep the staircase in mind.
I
but-
can't. I've worked out for years and years and years. I can't focus on my whole session. Like, I need to take it one set at a time. Otherwise, that looks too freaking, yeah.
I totally agree. And I also think the same thing about nutrition and prep.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, every meal that I smack down and I stay disciplined to, I will give myself the freedom in my head. I think it's I have probably an issue with control. If you want to like get psychology involved, but I would let go and be like, okay, next meal you can cheat. And then I'd be so competitive with myself and be like, when you can cheat, but you're not going to, but just like opening it up after every meal, like you can if you want. And then it's like, no, I don't want to. Like, it's like this weird argument I have.
Yeah.
But it makes me feel better.
I get that when I have to do my sprints. Because right now, while I'm writing in the book, I've decided that I either have to do sprints or leg day. It's either or. And if it's a sprint day, I did leg day yesterday, let's say. If it's a sprint day, I'll say to myself, okay, you may not be able to sprint as fast today, or like, you may not. But then when I'm there, I get competitive with myself, and it's like, no, just 0.1 more than last time. Just
Totally.
just like the tiniest little bit more than last time.
Totally.
Because but walking into it, I'll be like, you can just take it chiller today. Like,
More
your sprints don't have to be as fast.
You do 5 instead of 8 whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, now next time I challenge you to do your sprints after your leg day.
Okay. I'll do that. I've done that before too.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And do all 10. Wait, how many are you doing?
The reason why I'm doing it this way is because I'm literally not giving myself any rest days.
Why? She's like, I'm building discipline. Leave me alone.
It's like in the morning, I have the choice. Do I want to do leg day or do I want to do, I have my schedule, of course, but like sometimes, you're like, should I give myself an extra rest day as in for my legs, or should I?
Right.
So that's why.
Okay.
But I can totally do both. I actually always do cardio on leg days too. So it's not like
you do a lot of cardio. I always see you like on
I just love being active. It makes me feel so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'll work while I do it.
Yeah,
like,
you're
I'll
like
bring now I actually bring my laptop
on the stairs. Are you holding it? With
Not
one?
on the stairs. No. So on the stairs I'll do my phone or iPad, and on the treadmill I'll like walk uphill and.
I get that though, because
I mean, like after my workout, I always have like a couple of hours more of work to do.
Right.
Even though it's like late. But if I spend like an hour on the treadmill while doing it, I'll be in my zone. I'll just like get it done. And then after that, when I'm done with my work, I'm done with my training, and that's
a bad woman. She's done.
And that post-workout meal / meals, because
you go in
I'm
and
very
you're hungry.
Yeah. It's great.
Next time is the cream of rice.
Yes. That looked so good. I'm going to make it.
But you got to add the salt on top.
I do. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's fine.
I'm sorry.
It's fine, but you do have to add it.
I enjoyed it. Okay.
No, yeah. I mean, slaps every time.
Amazing. I have one last question for you.
Oh, yes.
Because this podcast is called Challenge Your Norm Podcast. If you had to, whatever instinctively comes first to your mind, give the listener one thing that they could challenge their norm within their day, their life, to make it better. What would that be?
I would say to challenge your norm by being curious about how much discipline you could build.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
what would happen if I just stuck to this?
Exactly. Totally. Like, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said it makes it fun. Being curious about your journey rather than ever being judgmental about it makes it more fun. It opens it up. It strips the anxiety or your perpetual cycle of never feeling like enough. Like, you gotta stop that, cycle. And the more that you build discipline, and building discipline is, in my opinion, one of the highest ways to have self-love. Because you're showing up for yourself. If you tell yourself you're going to do something every day and then you don't, how are you going to trust yourself? That's going to really make you not feel very confident. If you don't trust yourself, you don't trust your decisions, like how you don't show up for yourself. So how are you going to be confident, you know? So if let's say your boyfriend every day said that he was going to do this and then he didn't. Well, I have an issue with you now. Like you're not showing up for the things that you said that you're going to show up for. And now I don't trust that you're going to, and now I'm spiraling and I don't think you're going to show up for our future children one day because you know, like you gotta show up for yourself, build that discipline.
I love that. Yeah. Brooke Hacket, thank you so much for doing this today.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Absolutely.
Thank you for all of it. My next glute days are going to be on fire.
Dude, I have a YouTube.
Oh, I should.
Do my workout.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
It's kind of long, but
I'll do it.
I talk a lot on it.
I love it. Thank you.
I swallowed my own spit.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yay.